Hello, everyone. My name is Amber Preston, and I will be focusing on the psychiatric and neurological disorder of Capgras syndrome. Imagine your mother is unable to identify you as their actual child, rather an imposter acting as their real child. Imagine the feelings and confusion this situation would create for you. Now let's dig a little deeper. Imagine yourself feeling as though your mother is not really herself. Rather, someone else is acting as that loved one, providing you with care as your mother, while you are confused, conflicted, or unable to understand that she is your actual biological mother. Many individuals diagnosed with Capgras syndrome suffer these exact scenarios in their daily lives. The emotional disconnect, especially to such an important person in one's life, intrigued me and led me to want to research any new understanding and potentially related mental health illnesses. First, let's look at what Capgras syndrome is. Syndrome is defined as a delusion of doubles, a delusional misidentification syndrome. It is characterized by a false belief that an identical duplicate has replaced someone significant to the patient. The imposter can also replace an inanimate object or an animal. First discovered and written in medical literature by a French psychiatrist by the name of Joseph Capgras in 1923. He encountered a French woman who was describing doubles of the people in her life, including herself, initially believed to be associated with other mental health disorders of that time frame, such as hysteria. Researchers prevailed, many new ideas and scientific study focused on the physiological processing. Many new technological advances have enabled the discovery to the true impacts of injury or damage to the brain expressed by more incidences of Capgras syndrome to emerge in literature today. What could be causing someone to experience such symptoms? Altered view of reality and even oneself? To help us understand what is occurring with individuals, let's evaluate the brain processes involved within sensory information, emotional processing, and memory. In a neurotypical brain, the input is sent through the two visual pathways to the visual cortex for processing. This includes processing through the limbic system, emotional significance, and continued processing for retrieval later. This process allows the memory formation as a survival tactic, utilizing limbic structures such as the hypothalamus, hippocampus, amygdala, and nucleus accumbens. The specific subcortical structure, the amygdala, is responsible for translating more of the emotionally salient information, such as the emotional connection to a loved one when seeing them. If the circuitry is damaged to or from the amygdala, the emotional significance will also be altered. This led me to the discovery of research regarding several mental health illnesses categorized similarly with Capgras syndrome, all under one umbrella term known as delusion misidentification syndromes. The associated disorders under the delusion misidentification syndromes are Fragoli syndrome, intermetamorphosis syndromes, syndrome of subjective doubles, mirrored self, delusional companions, and colonial pluralization of the self. An underlying commonality seems to focus on the delusional emotional connection to oneself and their environments. This intrigued me, wondering the scope of association with delusional misidentification syndromes and neurodegeneration. Is it more common to have a delusional syndrome as a precursor or jointly with other neurological disorders? According to Keith Josephs, Capgras syndrome is more commonly associated with neurodegenerative diseases, especially within Lewy body disease, where visual hallucination always coexist. In absence of neurodegenerative diseases, the onset of Capgras syndrome occurs at a significantly younger age and can be associated with psychiatric disease, cerebral vascular events, and illicit drug use. Many other neurodegenerative disorders associated with Capgras syndrome include epilepsy, pituitary tumors, Alzheimer's, and advanced Parkinson's disease. It will be incredibly interesting to see how research and continued advancements will aid in further understanding the importance of emotional processing for our perceptual world. Thank you. And here are the references used for my presentation.